Did the Denver Broncos just once again offer the NFL an entire blueprint of how to beat the unbeatable Cowboys?
Well, Denver knows how to do it. I think they've won 6 straight against the Cowboys. 6 straight games. They just owned the Cowboys. It was funny because I was arguing with this Bronco fan, the day before the game. And he was just telling me how the Cowboys haven't played anybody and Denver always beats the Broncos. I said that was years ago. Based on what we're seeing right now, we're talking about this year and what we're seeing on the field. Denver just lost their best pass rush. No way they're going to win, right? No way they're going to win. They go out there and they destroy the Cowboys. Maybe the Cowboys didn't set their clocks back far enough. They should have set them back to 1995 because what we saw was disappointment that Cowboy fans have been getting for so long. They get their hopes up so high and they finally start to believe, and then the rug get pulled right from under them. It's like Lucy. Lucy and Charlie Brown. You know that? You remember Lucy? Just pull it. Yeah. You think you got it. You got it. Did they do this? Was this what happened? This always happens. They set Cowboy fans up for excitement and get their hopes up, and then sheer failure comes. And that's what this game felt, because I don't know who that team was.
Neither did I. That looked like a team.
They played on offense, defense, all over the board. And it was just an ugly, ugly game. And yeah, the Broncos coach basically said that no team has played the Cowboys the right way, and that he basically offered a blueprint for the rest of the league. And the Cowboys say yes, other teams are just a copycat league. Everybody's gonna try to duplicate what they did. Basically, they played coverage. They didn't blitz. They made Dak hold on to the ball. They played, I guess they call it 2 safeties high with man under, and they just covered everybody. They wouldn't let anybody get deep, and they made Dak hold on to the ball. But what's also true is that the Cowboys dropped passes uncharacteristically. Yeah. Mark Cooper's never dropped a pass all season. Some of those plays that they dropped past them are wide open. They could have made big yards. They could have changed the momentum of the game at any time. Dak had Cedric Wilson wide open on a 4th and 2 early in the game. That would have been a certain touchdown. It certainly would have been a first down, but possibly a touchdown because he had him running toward the end zone, and he flubbed the ball. He double hitched the ball, and it came out of his hands funny. No one we thought somebody blocked the pass. It didn't happen. It was just that kind of day for the Cowboys. I don't know if it was a blueprint or what. I just know it was a